Today we're taking a look at these MLB matches, which are happening on Friday, June 24, 2022, and giving you match breakdowns, betting tips and predictions in general on these games. Welcome back to High Stakes, let's get straight into it. Also, don't forget to subscribe to get notified as soon as we release these sport prediction videos, and if you would like more betting tips and predictions, then check out our Patreon in the link down below. Our new Patreon is a way for us to help you improve your chances of making more money. Multiple plans are available for each and every one of you. You can get 30 extra betting picks all the way up to 360 extra betting picks per month. Stop wasting hours of your time searching for bad betting picks that ends up costing you a lot of money. Join the High Stakes Patreon now and get the best betting picks. Going back to our video, we will give you 2 betting picks for each game, a team pick and a total pick based on facts and detailed explanation. So make sure to watch our videos till the end so you don't miss any of our picks. Cleveland Guardians vs Boston Red Sox. Our team pick is Boston for the win. Boston got off to a super slow start this season, going 23-27 through its first 50 games. The Red Sox have been one of the hottest teams in baseball since then, winning 16 of its last 20 contests. They took 2 out of 3 against St. Louis last weekend, before sweeping Detroit earlier this week. The Red Sox held the Tigers to 8 runs over the 3 games. They wrapped up a 9-game homestand with that series and then had the day off on Thursday. Boston is still sitting 12.5 games back of New York in the American League East, but it is a half game ahead of Minnesota for the second AL wildcard spot. Cleveland's season has followed a very similar script to Boston so far. The Guardians went 18-23 to open the year, but they have been consistently winning ever since then. They have not lost consecutive games since May 26, only losing 6 total games in the past month. Cleveland swept Colorado last week before taking 2 out of 3 against the Dodgers. The Guardians wrapped up the 9-game road trip by winning 2 out of 3 against Minnesota as the Twins avoided a sweep with a 1-0 win on Thursday. Cleveland is tied with Minnesota atop the AL Central standings. Chicago is 4.0 games back of both teams. The Red Sox have been an outstanding offensive team this year, ranked 3rd in the majors in team batting average .258. Third baseman Rafael Devers leads the way with 90 hits, including 16 home runs. Shortstop Xander Bogaerts has 85 hits, while designated hitter J.D. Martinez has 76 base knocks. They are facing a Cleveland pitching staff that is number 7 with an ERA of 3.65. Right-handed pitcher Nick Pivetta is going to make the start for Boston on Friday night. He allowed 1 run on 4 hits and 4 walks across 7 innings against St. Louis in his last outing. Pivetta struck out 10 batters, marking the second time in 3 starts that he struck out double-digit batters. He went 0-4 through his first 5 starts, but he is now 7-1 with a 1.77 ERA over his last 9 outings. The Guardians rank 10th in the majors in batting average, hitting at a .250 clip. Third baseman Jose Ramirez leads the way with 71 hits, including 16 home runs. Shortstop Amed Rosario has 66 hits, while Andres Gimenez has 55 base knocks. They will be facing a Boston staff that is number 6 with an ERA of 3.59. Cal Quantrill is going to be on the mound for Cleveland on Friday night. He allowed 5 runs on 10 hits and 1 walk, while striking out 4 across 5 innings against the Dodgers his last time out. Quantrill had recorded 5 straight quality starts before that outing. He posted a 2.89 ERA in 149.2 innings last season, but he has a 3.77 ERA through 71.2 frames in 2022. There has been some slight early steam on Boston in this game, but there is still plenty of value on the Red Sox. This game is all about the scheduling spot. Boston was at home for 9 straight games before having a day off on Thursday, so it is rested coming into this contest. Meanwhile, Cleveland just wrapped up a 9-game road trip on Thursday and is having to travel back home from Minnesota before this series begins. Boston is also riding a winning streak, while Cleveland is coming off a loss. The Red Sox also have a starting pitcher who is in better form, so I will happily back them at a pick'em price. Our total pick is under 8.5 runs. The Red Sox have managed to bounce back from a slow start to the season and come into this game as winners of 9 of their last 12 games, which has moved them to 3rd place in the AL East, half a game behind Toronto. They will try to move into 2nd place with a win over the Guardians, which will give them their 10th win in their last 13 games. The Guardians had their 3-game winning streak snapped by the Twins in their last game. They will try to bounce back from the loss with a win over the Red Sox, which will give them their 4th win in their last 5 games. Cleveland is tied for 1st place in the AL Central heading into this weekend tilt with Boston. Cleveland is averaging 4.69 runs per game. Their .251 batting average is 9th in the league. Their .312 on-base percentage is 18th, while their .393 slugging percentage is 16th. Jose Ramirez has been the best defensive player for the Guardians. He leads the team with a .301 batting average, 16 home runs, and 62 RBI. Cleveland's pitching has been good, with the team giving up 4.11 runs per game. Opponents have a .232 batting average against the Guardians, which is 9th in the league. Their 3.69 ERA is 7th, while their 1.19 WHIP is 7th. In his last start, Quantrill gave up 10 hits and 5 runs in 5 innings, leading to a 7-1 loss to Los Angeles. They will need a better performance from him if they want to win this game. Boston is averaging 4.76 runs per game. Their .258 batting average is 3rd in the league. Their .319 on-base percentage is 11th, while their .414 slugging percentage is 7th. Xander Bogaerts leads the team with a .335 batting average. Rafael Devers leads the team with 16 home runs, while Trevor Story leads the team with 48 RBI. Boston's pitching has been good, with the team giving up 3.97 runs per game. Opponents have a .229 batting average against the Red Sox, which is 6th in the league. Their 3.59 ERA is also 6th, as is their 1.18 WHIP. In his last start, Pivetta gave up 4 hits and 1 run in 7 innings, leading to a 6-4 win over St. Louis. They will need a similar effort from him if they want to get the win. The Red Sox are averaging 4.76 runs per game and 4.79 runs per game on the road. They averaged 5.67 runs per game in their last 3 games against the Guardians. With Cleveland giving up 3.73 runs per game at home, the Red Sox will be held under their average in this game. The Guardians are averaging 4.69 runs per game and 4.69 runs per game at home. They averaged 6.33 runs per game in their last 3 games against the Red Sox. With Boston giving up 3.53 runs per game on the road, the Guardians won't score enough runs to push the score over the total. Atlanta Braves vs Los Angeles Dodgers. Our team pick is Los Angeles Dodgers. And here is why. After Wednesday's action, the Dodgers were tied with the Padres for first place in the NL West. Los Angeles is first in MLB, scoring 5.2 runs per game and second with a 2.90 ERA as a team. They are 12th with 79 home runs. Mookie Betts, who is currently on the 10-day injured list, leads the team with 17 home runs on the season to go along with 40 RBI. The Dodgers have plenty of healthy balance throughout the order, with Trey Turner, .307 AVG, 9 HR, 50 RBI, 14 SB, Will Smith, 9 HR, 32 RBI, and Freddie Freeman, .302 AVG, 7 HR, 42 RBI, all having productive seasons as well. This will likely be an emotional series for Freeman, who, making this first return to Atlanta-facing franchise he broke into the big leagues with and played for from 2010 to 2011. At the end of May, the Braves were 23-27 and trailed the Mets by 10.5 games in the NL East. The Braves are off to a 17-3 in June and went into Thursday's game against the Giants, now trailing the Mets by only 4.5 games. Atlanta is 7th in MLB with 333 runs scored and second with 106 home runs. They have 5 players who have reached 10 home runs already, led by Austin Riley with 18 home runs and 41 RBI. Ronald Acuna is also catching up quickly after missing 29 games this season with 7 home runs, 18 RBI, and a team-best 12 stolen bases. Projected to start for the Braves on Friday is Ian Anderson, 6'2", 4.35 ERA, who has 59 strikeouts against 32 walks with 70 1/3 innings. In 5 home starts, Anderson is 1-1 with 5.84 ERA. Anderson had a terrific postseason in 2021 when he went 2-0 with a 1.59 ERA in 4 starts. In 1 regular season start against the Dodgers last season, Anderson allowed 4 earned runs in 4 1/3 innings. The Braves' bullpen is 5th with a 3.06 ERA. There's a lot to like on both sides, but someone has to win. With both teams having elite lineups and bullpens, I have to give the edge to the Dodgers due to the starting pitching and defensive edge. Julio Urias has a 2.10 ERA and 0.90 WHIP in his last 6 starts, much more consistent than Ian Anderson, who has a 4.98 ERA and 1.46 WHIP in his last 6 starts. Defensively, the Dodgers rank 8th and have saved plus 20 more runs than the Braves, who are ranked 16th in the field. Take the Dodgers and Freddie Freeman to pick up an emotional win on Friday. Our total pick is under 9.5 runs. Julio Urias is expected to take the mound for the Dodgers. In his last game, he went 6 innings and gave up 2 hits, 2 walks, 0 earned runs, and struck out 6 in a win against the Cleveland Guardians. On the season, Urias has a record of 4-6 with a 2.56 ERA, 1.02 WHIP, and a 62/17 KBB ratio in 13 starts. Opposing batters are hitting .212 against Urias this season. The Dodgers come in having won 3 straight games after sweeping the Reds. The Dodgers currently sit first in the NL West and they are second in the NL. They are top 10 in most batting categories and top 5 in most pitching categories. It is hard to find a weakness with this team and they are poised for a long playoff run. Los Angeles has been excellent on offense this season. They are top 10 in the league in runs, home runs, RBIs, walks, OBP, SLG, and OPS. Mookie Betts leads the team in runs and home runs. Betts is top 5 in the NL in runs and home runs. Trey Turner leads the team in hits, home runs, and stolen bases. Turner is top 5 in the NL in hits, home runs, and stolen bases. On the season, Julio Urias has a 2.56 ERA, 1.02 WHIP, and a 62/17 KBB ratio in 13 starts. Opposing batters are hitting .212 against Urias this season. Urias has given up one earned run or less in 8 out of his last 12 starts. No batter on Atlanta has hit a home run, and only one batter has recorded 1 RBI off of Urias. When Ian Anderson exits the game, the Braves relievers will come in and they have been excellent this season. The Braves relievers rank top 5 in ERA, hits allowed, runs allowed, home runs allowed, strikeouts, WHIP, and batting average against. Atlanta will struggle to score on Urias, and the Dodgers will have a difficult time putting up runs on Atlanta's bullpen. This will be a lower scoring game, and the under will hit. Texas Rangers vs Washington Nationals. Our team pick is Texas Rangers for the win. Washington saw their 2-game win streak end as they lost for the 9th time in 11 games by getting blanked by the Orioles in a rain-shortened tilt. The Nationals entered Thursday in the basement of the NL East, 20.5 games behind the Mets for the top spot. On Wednesday, Washington finished with only 3 hits with Josh Bell, Cesar Hernandez and Yadiel Hernandez each recording a single in the loss. Patrick Corbin, 4-10, saw his rough season continue as he was tagged for 3 runs on 7 hits with 1 walk and 6 strikeouts over 4 innings before departing amidst the deluge of rain. Texas swept Philadelphia in a brief 2-game interleague set and earned a 4th win in 6 games to head into this series with momentum. The Rangers went into Thursday second in the AL West, 10 games behind the Astros for the top spot in the division race. On Wednesday, Corey Seager, run, and Cole Calhoun, 2 RBI, each had 2 hits in the contest to help the Rangers earn the win. John Gray, 3-3, earned the win on the mound as he threw 5.2 innings, allowing 2 runs on 4 hits with 1 walk and 5 strikeouts before departing. Joe Barlow worked a 1-2-3 9th inning to record his 13th save of the season. Dane Dunning takes the ball for his 15th start of the year for the Rangers in this contest. He is 1-5 with a 4.38 ERA, a 1.329 WHIP, 28 walks and 70 strikeouts over 76 innings of action on the year. Dunning took the loss in his last start, which came Sunday on the road against the Tigers. He threw 4.2 innings, allowing 5 runs on 4 hits with 4 walks and 2 strikeouts in a game the Rangers dropped by a 7-3 score. In his last 3 starts, Dunning is 0-2 with a 5.52 ERA, a 1.57 WHIP, 8 walks and 7 strikeouts over 14.2 innings of work. This marks his first career outing against the Nationals in his 49th career Major League appearance and 47th start. Dunning is 6-4 with a 3.06 ERA, a 1.15 WHIP, 31 walks and 113 strikeouts over 108.2 innings in 21 career appearances, 20 starts, at Globe Life Field. Paolo Espino is expected to take the hill for the Nationals and make his 23rd appearance and 3rd start of the season in this contest. He comes in 0-1 with a 2.29 ERA, a 1.075 WHIP, 8 walks and 27 strikeouts over 35.1 innings of work on the year. In his last outing, Espino didn't factor in the decision as he started against the Phillies in the 2nd game of a doubleheader at home last Friday. He threw 5 innings, allowing 3 runs, 2 earned, on 3 hits with 4 walks, and 5 strikeouts in a game the Nationals dropped 8-7 in 10 innings. In his 72nd career Major League appearance and 25th start, he pitches against the Rangers for the first time here. As a result, Espino makes his first career Major League appearance at Globe Life Field in this contest as well. These teams are unfamiliar with each other, and that means the pitchers have yet to face off against the opposition in their respective careers. With that said, the Nationals have struggled to put together any kind of consistent offensive performances at the plate or on the mound, which is a prime reason the team is buried in the basement of the NL East. Dunning has had his ups and downs this season, but the Rangers have played some decent ball of late and are within striking distance of the .500 mark. Washington is a dismal 13-21 on the road, and their bullpen has been ground down of late. Give the advantage to the Rangers as they keep rolling, and Dunning keeps Washington in check. Our total pick is over. And here is why. These odds are particularly tough to gauge given that Dunning has been up and down all season and Espino remains largely unproven as a starter. Ultimately, neither pitching staff has shown themselves to be trustworthy this season, with Texas ranking 17th in runs allowed and the Nationals ranking dead last. A vulnerable Washington pitching staff looks primed to get lit up by a Texas team that ranks 8th in home runs per game. Expect to see some big flies on Friday night. The over is 6-3 in the Nats' last 9 games as their staff continues to get torched on a nightly basis. There will be runs here.